Hello, 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 my loves. As always, I hope that this live or this replay finds you well and in excellent spirits. Happy Monday, and welcome to another edition of the weekly Astro Forecast, live here in the Astro Room on YouTube. I am your host and your favorite astrologer, Mel of Divine Feminine Works, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. And as always, if you are returning, welcome back. So this channel is everything astrology, spirituality, and manifestation. So if those are the things you like, if those are the things you love, or if those are the things you want to learn more about, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. All right, my love. So this is the weekly astro forecast for the week of July 21st through July 27th, 2025. All right. So lots to talk about this week. We are changing seasons, and I don't know about you, but I am very ready to get out of Cancer season. It's been a season, let's just say that. So we're going to be moving on to Leo season this week, and it's going to bring a huge, let me not say huge, it's going to bring a significant energy shift, okay? And apart from that, we've got a new moon this week also in the sign of Leo. So there's heavy emphasis on Leo energy this week, and it can be really good on the one hand. On the other hand, it could be a little much. All right, but we'll get into all of that in a second. Of course, first, housekeeping and announcements. So if you are joining me here on the live this evening, thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate you. Say hi on the way in, and in the chat, let me know where Leo is in your natal chart if you know it. If you don't know it, say you don't know it. But if you do, what house is Leo for you in your natal chart? All right. And if you are watching this on the replay, I appreciate you just as much. Hopefully you find what you're looking for in this broadcast, whether it's information, enlightenment, confirmation, clarity. If you find it here, then kindly hit that like button, subscribe button, and notification bell if you haven't already. And today, I'm really in this feeling of gratitude, and I just want to thank you guys. We're almost at 3,500 subscribers here, and I was really reflecting today on how I remember when I first started this channel. Well, I put the channel together in 2019, but I didn't really start putting videos up until 2020, and how I've been at this and how I've been doing weekly astro forecasts live for over 3 years now. And the fact that y'all have grown with me, the fact that some of y'all have been with me since day one, I'm just so appreciative and I'm so thankful and I'm so excited to see where this is headed, because trust and believe, this wasn't something I ever really contemplated, at least not deeply. Like, this was something that I was guided to do. And even to this day, I feel like I'm still just following the assignment, and I'm always excited and I'm always blown away at how this has taken shape and where not just the channel, but where Divine Feminine Works is going. And couldn't go anywhere without you guys. And so I'm so super thankful for you and looking forward to bringing you more of a lot of different things. So definitely stay tuned and lock in. All right. So in terms of announcements, we are still in Mercury retrograde, if you haven't noticed. I don't know about you, but for me, this Mercury retrograde feels a little mild. It's not necessarily feeling like death, doom, and destruction. It definitely is feeling like enlightenment, especially because it's happening in Leo. All right. But maybe for you, this could be a little difficult depending on wherever Leo is in your natal chart. So if you need some support, then you'll definitely want to sign up for the Mystic Message, which is my Mercury retrograde reading. So I'll essentially look at your natal chart, break down everything that you can expect throughout this Mercury retrograde cycle, pull some cards to give you some messages so you walk away feeling like you understand what's going on right now. All right, it's a pre-recorded reading. It's short, sweet, to the point. Everyone who's ordered it has really loved it so far. So if you want to know what Mercury retrograde is doing for you and perhaps to you, you'll want to sign up for the Mystic Message. And that link is tagged to the video and it's in the description box below. So definitely check it out. Okay. And also, I am let me not say debuting, because I actually debuted this back in Taurus season, but after some recalibration, I feel like I'm reintroducing this right now. And it is called, well, let me say this. everything that I do is seasonal, okay? In the sense that I follow the sun, I follow the zodiac, everything that's going on is really a reflection of what's going on in the cosmos. And so a couple of months ago, I was like, okay, I want to give you guys something that can allow you to really understand the energy of the moment and to work with it. Sometimes it's not just enough to know, okay, it's Leo season. But not only is it Leo season, what can I do during Leo season? How can I harness the energy? And what does it mean for me, right? Like, how can I use this energy and make it a part of my life instead of being dragged by it or not understanding what's going on? And so enter the zodiac keys. All right. And with Leo season starting tomorrow, the Leo key is now available. So now what are the zodiac keys? The zodiac keys are digital ritual kits that allow you to not only understand the energy of the season, but help you to use it and harness it. All right. So each kit is done by season, and each key unlocks a different door. Okay. And so the Leo key unlocks the door to confidence, new identity, and courage. Okay. There's a lot of beautiful energy that Leo season brings, and the Leo key helps you unlock that door. So each of the zodiac keys, Leo key included, includes a PDF guide that really helps you understand the energy of the moment, a Notion template that allows you to keep like a daily journal and gives you ritual prompts. It gives you ritual ideas, journal prompts, a place to track the energy, information on rising signs. Like, it's really chock full of information that you can use on a daily basis to work with the energy. Plus, an audio track that allows you to meditate and really harness and tap into the Leo energy. So it is the PDF guide, Notion template, and audio track. And that is what consists of the Leo key. Well, it can all of the zodiac keys, but we're currently in Leo season. So the Leo key is what is available right now. So if you want to take your experience of astrology a step further, then these are for you. These are completely digital, everything is downloadable, and you can really understand the energy of the season. So if you're interested, link is in the description box below and also tag to this video. And as each season comes around, a new key will be introduced. Okay, so that is that. So now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, let's get into the astrology for this week. Okay, so it's interesting because, like I said, Cancer season has been super, super emotionally intense, right? I felt like I spent so much time crying during Cancer season, and that tracks. That's to be expected, right? But yesterday, I was feeling e- exceptionally emotional and I couldn't understand why. And funny enough, I was talking to my mom, and my mom was feeling the same way. She was like, "What's going on?" She asked me, she's like, "Is it still a full moon?" She's like, "Because I feel so like emotionally drained." And of course, when I look at the astrology, as I always do, we're in the waning phase of the moon in the sign of Cancer. At least we're about to be as we make our way to the new moon on Thursday. And so this is, especially when the moon is waning in Cancer, especially when the moon is waning in Cancer in the waning crescent phase. This is the very last phase before the new moon. You may find that a lot of emotions come up. The waning crescent phase is all about purging emotions, purging what's under the surface in order to make room for the new moon and everything that you want to manifest and call in, right? So there's a lot of emotional intensity with that. But then when you add the fact that Mars and the South Node are conjunct in Virgo right now, there is this energy of release, this energy of letting go, this energy of stopping, cutting things off, quitting. Like, it's a very visceral kind of feeling. It could be, but it could also just be very emotionally charged. It's giving like you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're over something. It's like you want to start something new. So you're just ready to scrap whatever gets in your way, whatever doesn't align with this new thing that you want to begin. So when you put those two things together, this is kind of a heavy time right now, full of lots of emotions. Maybe you're not necessarily feeling sad, but maybe you're feeling like hyped, angry, frustrated, right? And perhaps in a very intense way. With Leo season beginning tomorrow, the sun is literally at the last degree of Cancer. And anytime you have the sun at the last degree of any sign, it's the critical degree. It's called the anaretic degree in astrology, but it's the last squeeze of the orange. It's the last, it's just the energy reaches like a fever pitch almost. And so if you're feeling the feels, it will pass because as soon as the sun moves into Leo, it's definitely a significant energy shift. And as I was preparing for this live, I was thinking about how whenever the sun moves from a water sign to a fire sign, the energy, like you really feel it. So, for instance, we're going from Cancer to Leo. And so it's like going from the depths of the ocean to the Sahara, right? But then think about how the energy feels when we go from Scorpio to Sagittarius. And even when we go from Pisces to Aries, it's this, you're wallowing in your emotions, you're feeling everything so intently, and then boom, it's almost like an alarm clock. And now you're hyped. Now you are ready to take action. Now it's like you're coming out of the cave, you're coming out of the depths of hell, you're coming out of your shell, you're coming out of the ocean, and you're ready to do some things, maybe even do some damage, maybe start some new things. But whatever it is, you feel hyped, you feel energized, you feel enlightened sometimes, right? Because the thing about the sun in the water signs is that you're really in touch with your emotions. So there's this cycle of purging, there's this cycle of awareness, there's this cycle of feeling your emotions that the water signs, or at least when the sun is in the water signs, and again that would be Cancer season, Scorpio season, and Pisces season, like you're really in the depths of your emotions. And then all of a sudden you move into Leo, into Sagittarius, into Aries, and it's like boom, the alarm is sounding. So that's a great segue for us to get into tonight's, I want to just say presentation, this isn't a presentation, but tonight's transit forecast, if you will. So let's begin with the theme for the week, okay? And that is show up or shut down, okay? This is what I mean by an energy shift, okay? Like Cancer is very much inside, and it always sort of puzzles, it has always puzzled me that Cancer happens to be the start of summer, because Cancer is a sign that's very much like homebody, that's very much concerned with the home, right? It's the crab in its shell, right? However, summer, it's like you want to be outside. And Leo is all about being outside. I feel like when the sun is in Leo, it's the quintessential summer energy. It's fun, it's lighthearted, it's childlike, it's the essence of we outside, right? But here's the thing, Leo is ruled by the sun, and we all know the sun shines regardless. Every day the sun rises and it shines, right? But there's this thing with Leo that it's not just about rising and shining, it's about your identity, it's about being seen. And there's something about this particular Leo season, meaning this Leo season 2025, that feels like being seen feels like a major theme, okay? And being seen can have you feeling a variety of emotions. Perhaps you've been in the shadows. Perhaps you've been in the depths of your emotions for a long time. Imagine being stuck at home and having cabin fever. Leo season may really be when you feel ready to be seen. Like you want to be seen, you want to be outside, you want to feel the sun on your skin, either literally or figuratively, right? For some, being seen can be a self esteem or a confidence thing. Maybe you want to be seen, but it scares you. You know, the light of the sun, everything is exposed under the light of the sun. And that could really trigger some people's confidence, it could trigger some people's self esteem, even. You're afraid of being seen. Then there's the whole exposing, right? Maybe some of y'all don't want to be seen because you don't want to be exposed. You don't want whatever you're trying to hold on to or whatever you want to keep in the dark to be exposed under the light of day. And we've been seeing some of this happen over the last couple of days. with people being exposed in a very major sort of way, right? Leo is going to ramp that up. But taking it a step further, we do have a lot of Leo energy this week. So again, there is this energy of being seen, of taking up space, of having confidence, of really putting yourself out there. But with the other astrology for the week, there's a certain transformation that's going on as well. And this transformation has a lot to do with your identity. And so this speaks to what I was just saying before about being seen. Perhaps you are, we kind of live in a society where we are judged by our highlight reels in the sense that presenting this really perfectly curated image is the thing. All of a sudden, everyone is a personal brand. And as sickening as that is to me, that's the society that we're living in at the moment, and how everyone just wants to be seen as successful, as having made it, as relationship goals, as all the things, right? Yet, when your identity is undergoing a transformation, it can be a very messy thing, right? It can highlight your imperfections. It can show, even if you're showing up polished and put together, that transformation sort of signifies that you're not done yet, or you're not there yet. And a lot of people find shame in that. A lot of people don't want people to see their progress. They want to show up fully evolved and perfect, as opposed to a work in progress. And Leo was going to shine a light on that. And this week, I feel like that's part of the energy of the week. And again, that's why the theme is show up or shut down. The shut down part is perhaps you don't want people to see your transformation. Perhaps you're not even ready to see your transformation, right? That's another thing. Like, Leo is all about identity. And when our identity begins to change, when it begins to morph, it can really be a jarring thing for us. It could be frustrating. It could be gut wrenching, because maybe parts of ourselves are dying off and we're emerging into this new thing, but we've got to mourn what we're losing. Like, it's a whole process. And for some, the light of Leo may cause you to just shut down. Maybe you don't even want to be out here doing the most. You don't want to be out here showing the world your progress. You don't want to be seen, right? So I do think that there is this theme for all of us this week about being seen, and standing out as we truly are. I mean, I could speak volumes of that as well. Vibrant Enhancements says, I'm dealing with all of that right now. Yeah, this is definitely the energy of the moment, and how so many people are conditioned to show up in a certain way, right? And Leo wants you to show up as yourself, and not even just show up, be in the spotlight, take up space and be seen. You know how vulnerable it feels to be in the spotlight as your true self. I mean, imagine, like, as a woman, right? I mean, I'm not going to speak on the beauty standards right now, because that could be a whole dissertation, but there's a certain aesthetic that's obviously popular. And to have that aesthetic, there's a lot of maintenance that goes into that, whether it's a wig, a weave, extensions, eyelashes, nails, Botox, lip filler, breast enhancements, BBL, right? Like, there's so much that you can put on that can really mask who you truly are. But here's the thing about Leo. Leo is like, I don't care what you look like. I want you to strip down to your bare essence and then stand in the spotlight. So that's like standing with your hair not done, no makeup, and barefaced, right? Just coming as you are. And that's what Leo, especially the Leo energy this week, is really trying to get you to. It's my sun rising in Venus. So yeah, you really got that Leo energy. So you're definitely going to be feeling not only this energy shift from Cancer to Leo, but this identity of standing in your truth, in your essence, and taking up space and being in the spotlight, right? And it's also one thing I also want to impart on you in terms of understanding astrology. Oftentimes, when we talk about, I think the best way to understand the signs is to understand them in their pairings, meaning the sign and its opposite. So, to understand Leo, you really have to understand Aquarius. And Aquarius is the sign of the collective, it's the sign of the group, right? Leo is the sign of the individual. Okay, Leo is the leader. Leo leads the group, Aquarius is the group. So, in standing in your spotlight, in standing in your essence, right, as you truly are in your authenticity, you can't help but think about what the group is going to say, what they are going to think. Are they still going to follow you? Are they still going to be with you? Are they still going to accept you? Or are you going to be like a lone wolf all by yourself, standing in your authenticity? These are things that we subconsciously think about. They're things that are running subconsciously in our programming. And with Leo being ruled by the sun, it's like Leo season is going to shine a light on all of this, right? And we're starting to see that now. We see it now in society with groups of people trying to figure out where they stand, who's a part of the group, who's not part of the group, but also us as individuals. Do we even resonate with this group anymore? Does it reflect our authentic self, or were we just part of a group to feel accepted and to go with the flow? So, Leo season is going to ask you quite a bit of questions. And again, it's really about showing up or shutting down, but the choice is really yours. Okay. So, now that we've gotten into that, let's get into the actual astrology for the week that's really going to be important for you to pay attention to. So, first up, of course, we've got the sun entering the sign of Leo, and that is happening tomorrow. So, like I said, whenever we have this shift from water signs to fire signs, we feel it, right? We feel it. The image I'm getting right now is like if you're ever on vacation or during the summertime, if you ever go to the beach, you're in the water, you're having a great time, and then you get out and you lay out in the sun and you dry off, right? Like that's like going from Cancer to Leo, okay? But again, Leo kind of wants to ask you, like, do you feel worthy of showing up in your own light or in the light, right? Leo has a lot to do with confidence. And again, it's not even just showing up to show up, it's are you confident to stand in your authenticity, right? Are you showing up as the version of yourself that knows that they're worthy of the light? Apart from just taking the spotlight, Leo season also reminds us that we are the light. Being ruled by the sun, we are all our own sun. We are all our own source of light. And for so many of us, we dim our light, we hide our light. And Leo season wants you to shine brightly, even if it blinds other people. It's time for you to really put yourself out there. And I feel like in the times that we're living right now, the world needs your light. And I'm not even saying that on some woo woo spiritual type shit. I mean that the dumpster fire that the world seems to be like right now, it needs your light, it needs your uniqueness. However, you show up, whatever your authentic self is, the world needs that. And for some, especially with one of the other transits that's happening this week, you might feel kind of pushed to shine. You might feel pushed to really put yourself out there. You might feel pushed to speak up. Remember, Mercury is also in Leo right now. Even though it's retrograde, Mercury in Leo wants you to speak up and speak from the heart. Speak your, opinions, your thoughts, and be seen, take up space. So, do you feel like you're worthy of that? Do you have the confidence for that? How is your self esteem and your self worth when it comes to that? Leo season is going to bring all of that to the surface in an effort to just get you to be yourself. Whether you're just being yourself on a major platform, whether you're being yourself in your relationships, whether you're being yourself with your job and your career, that's all Leo wants you to do, is to be yourself. And so we begin that energy tomorrow. I mean, we're already starting to feel it. The energy is fluid, but Leo season officially begins tomorrow. Okay. So, and what does that feel like? I want to say that the energy for the week feels essentially like this. Hella sunny, an alarm clock. It's like it's time to wake up. It's time to get out there. It's time to take action, but action from a place of authenticity, which is seriously lacking in our society right now. If I'm being honest, we've got too many carbon copies of people, too many carbon copies of ideas. Leo season is really going to bring the Leo is really going to bring the uniqueness to the forefront. That's what it wants to do. I feel like on a global scale and individually. So perhaps Leo season may be a time when you're figuring out who you are exactly. What makes you tick? What is in your heart? What is your identity? Okay. And then when you figure that out, let us see it. Let us experience it. It's really important, not just for your sake, but everybody's sake. All right. So that is the sun entering Leo. So next we have the new moon in Leo, which is really great. And which is why I titled this live, or the thumbnail, it's titled Playing Pretend. And this is what I love about Leo, because Leo energy is super playful. It's very childlike. And when we have a new moon in Leo, it's really about like playing pretend and playing dress up. I just dropped the new moon in Leo video yesterday. Link is in the description box below to check it out if you haven't already. But the title is Dress the Part That You Want to Play. Emphasis on the word play because Leo is so lighthearted and it's about entertainment and play. Like this allows you to perhaps try on and adopt a new identity. However, you're doing this from a place of authenticity. This isn't a fake it till you make it. This isn't a let me put on this mask to show the world. That's sort of the antithesis of Leo. Leo is like, listen, maybe you are a quote unquote nerd who's really into anime, right? And maybe as many people as there are into anime, that's not something that is rare. But maybe the people that you hang around with don't know that about you, or maybe they would think that you're like a nerd or whatever. And maybe Leo season is like, fuck it, I'm just gonna start a YouTube channel where I review different um, anime shows or whatever, right? Like this is about, and I don't want to use the word cosplaying because cosplaying is putting on a costume, right? But this is about dressing the part that you want to play. If you want to play the expert at something, be the expert at something. If you want to play a commentator, if you want to play a YouTuber, if you want to play whatever it is, do that. Just make sure that it's something that is authentic to you and that is really heart centered. Perhaps something that you're really passionate about, something that speaks to what's really in your heart, but have fun with it, right? The new moon is all about setting new intentions and planting new seeds. And again, with Leo and the sun having everything to do with identity, what new identity do you want to have right now? I can't think of anything more exciting and more fun than saying, you know what, I'm deciding that I'm going to do this or I'm going to be this, right? It's just like when you were a kid and someone asked you, what did you want to be when you grew up? Clearly you're not the thing yet, but to you in your mind, you could be it. Maybe sometimes you even played as that thing, right? Maybe you wanted to be a doctor and you played with medical instruments and you were like a doctor to all of your stuffed animals, right? Like that's the kind of energy that we have at this new moon. And it's so there's such an innocence to it, like a childlike innocence to it, and fun and excitement. So use it for that, right? Again, this isn't about, oh, I'm going to act like an expert, yet I don't know anything, This isn't about wearing a mask. This isn't about it's not about fake it till you make it or perpetrating a fraud. This is who I am, and I get to play the part of that. I get to dress the part of that. And that's so dope. Like, again, I really love that energy. Let's see, is there anything else I have to say? Ooh, yes. And with this new moon in Leo, you're going to want to set intentions that scare you a little bit. So, apart from confidence, Leo is about courage, it's about fearlessness, right? And so, the part that you want to play may be something that feels daunting, it feels overwhelming. Leo's like, plant it anyway. It's good if it scares you a little bit because that denotes that there's a certain level of growth and expansion that this thing is going to require from you, which is always a great thing because our souls are designed to expand. So if it scares you, even in the slightest, plant those seeds. All right. And that's happening on Thursday. And of course, the energy of the new moon is like 3 days before and 3 days after. And one thing I'll say is that on the day of the new moon, it's not necessarily the day that you're taking action. It's more so the day that you are preparing the soil to plant. So it's a great day for quiet time, journaling, visualization, getting your mind, your emotions, and in this case, your heart, all on the same page so that come the waxing phase, you can start taking action that you've prepared for. The new moon is great for spiritual preparation before you take physical action. So keep that in mind. And if you want to know more about the lunar cycle and everything that has to do with, last week I did a whole series called Moon Mastery Week. It's 5 videos all on the moon. I'll link the playlist in the description box below so you could check it out. Okay. But again, that new moon in Leo happening on Thursday. And then the very next day, on Friday, there is the sun opposite Pluto. Okay. And this is going to feel perhaps a bit intense. This is the, what was it that I called it before in the theme? It was show up or shut down. Is that what I called it? Yes, show up or shut down. So this sun opposite Pluto, it's going to be like the shutdown part. Okay. Because Sun opposite Pluto is this sort of push and pull, tug of war between sort of wanting to stand out with the Sun in Leo and also being a part of the collective, being a part of the group with Pluto in Aquarius. And keep in mind that Pluto is actually retrograde right now, I believe. So Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is like transformation that's happening on a very internal level. And it's all about, transformation that can take you into the future, transforming how you think, transforming how you express yourself, transforming how you get information and all of those things. And so the sun opposite Pluto could perhaps feel like an identity crisis. Maybe the group that you belong to is changing, their ideals are changing, and it doesn't vibe with who you are at your core anymore. And now you're kind of stuck in this place of, do I continue with the group, even though it doesn't feel authentic, or do I go out on my own? Or perhaps, go out on my own in search of a new group, right? Do I belong? Where do I fit in? What is my identity as things are changing? So this is one of those transits again that may feel pretty intense. It may feel like an identity crisis, but it's really getting you to qualify who you are at your core. And whatever's changing, perhaps is a reflection of what needs to change within you. Okay. Now, it's not to say that if you're part of a group and now they're changing, you automatically have to adopt their ideals and all of that stuff. It's not about that. But perhaps how would I put this? It's like maybe your own internal ideals need to change. Maybe your goals and trajectories need to change, right? As it pertains to your identity. So whatever is happening, whatever is ending, whatever is transforming, take a good amount of time to think about how it impacts who you are and how you express yourself, aka your identity, okay? Again, give yourself grace because it could feel very jarring. It could feel like you don't know where you stand, either with other people or with yourself. Maybe it brings up self-esteem issues. Maybe it brings up confidence or the lack thereof. This is all important information. It's not just happening for no reason. Again, the point of Leo season, the point of the sun in Leo is to get you to be who you actually are. Point blank, period. And everything that's happening is furthering that goal. So allow it, okay? And I love this phrase. It's check your shadow before you wreck your spotlight. Now, because Pluto is the planet of the underworld and of transformation, and Leo is ruled by the sun, this particular transit is going to cast quite a stark shadow, right? The brighter the light, the stronger the shadow. And so, as your identity is being put on Front Street, essentially, your shadow will be also. Your shadow will be quite visible. And again, this is why people may not want to be in the spotlight, may not want to shine. This may be the reason why some people, you may be shining brightly and you are bringing up everybody's shadows around you because you're just shining so brightly, right? People may want to stay away from you for that reason, right? Like that could really be a thing. But again, it's very, very valuable information. You want that phrase tattooed on you. Are you saying check your shadow before you wreck your spotlight? What what phrase is that? I would love to know. um Again, your shadow coming up, it is valuable information. It shows you your flip side. It shows you your dark side, and there's nothing wrong with that. A healthy self identity is when you bring together your light and your shadow side. It's not ignoring your shadow side, it's not ignoring your negativity, it is integrating it. And Leo season, particularly this transit of the sun opposite Leo, is going to be perfect for that. So use it for that. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that is a dope phrase, right? Like it's really powerful statement. So yeah, whatever comes up, don't be afraid to face it. Remember, I said Leo is all about courage. Have the courage and the confidence to shine as your authentic self. Trust me, the more that we do that, the more that the people will gravitate toward people who are shining the same, right? It's not, don't feel like if you put yourself out there, you're going to be out there alone. You know, it's also inspiring to people to see you being yourself unapologetically, being out there, doing your thing as yourself authentically. It may rub some people the wrong way, but other people may be really inspired. And we need that right now more than you know, right? So, all in all, this is a week of identity. This is a week of courage, of confidence, and of being seen. It's okay if you are a work in progress. That sun opposite Pluto transit is going to make all of us realize that we're all a work in progress, and that's okay. Shine anyway. Be yourself. Messy, however you need to show up, but show up as yourself. There's no better feeling, honestly. And when you gain the courage to do so, you literally kind of feel invincible. And there's nothing better than feeling confident in your skin and being able to be out there, understanding what your shadows are, understanding who you are at your core, understanding who you are authentically. When you can show up in that way, you're unstoppable. And that's what really makes you a leader. And that's exactly what Leo season wants to do. That's exactly what this week is all about. Okay. And again, if you want to tap into the energy of Leo season, you're going to want to download well, you're going to want to order the Leo key, which will help you do just that. It'll help you work through all of the things that I just talked about. All right. And again, link is in the description box below and tagged to this video. All right, my love. So that's really the astrology for the week. Short, sweet, and to the point, but powerful. Very powerful. So now we are at the Q&A section. This is your opportunity to ask any questions you would like, although I will not be answering questions on your particular natal chart. And of course, super chats and channel members always get priority. But if you've got an astrology question, something that's stumping you, something that you want more clarity on, this is your time to ask. And while you're thinking of your questions and all of that, I have a question for you. And the question for the week is, oh, what shadow keeps pulling you out of your power? I want you to think about that. I just talked about how Sun opposite Pluto is really going to bring up your shadow. Now, your shadow doesn't want to be in the spotlight. Your shadow doesn't want to see the light of day. So, what shadow is keeping you out of the spotlight? What shadow wants you to not shine? All right, you're going to want to take a screenshot of this, write this question down, and meditate on this question, particularly as we move toward the new moon in Leo later this week. This is a very powerful question to reflect on because with everything in the astrology trying to get us to shine, understanding what's wanting to keep you out of the spotlight, understanding what your shadow side is going to be of particular importance this week and moving throughout the season. So again, what shadow keeps pulling you out of your power? That is the question for the week. All right. So it seems like there are no questions. And so if that is the case, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully you got at least one good piece, powerful piece of information that you can use going into this week and beyond. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you next week, same time, same place, same amazing energy and information. All right, my loves, take care and have an amazing week.